Well, good morning. Welcome back to Math in My Kitchen. Um, Hope you enjoyed your weekend. All right, so today we're moving on to, as you can see, volume. So we've been talking mostly about area. Area is how much paint it would take to cover a surface, or how much carpeting it takes to cover a floor. Area is easy. It's just basically base times height. I do some weird things for pointy shapes, but triangles always have to be difficult, and circles have that pi thing thrown in there. Now we're moving on to volume. Volume is how much water a container can hold. So volume, just how much space there is inside of a figure, instead of how much it takes to cover a thing. It's how much you can fill it. Just like the basic formula for area is base times height, there is a basic formula for volume. And the basic formula for volume is the area of the base of the figure times its height. So it's this times how tall the figure is. So first family of three-dimensional figures we talked about were prisms, where you have parallel bases that are just one of the polygons, and then they're connected by parallelograms. Parallelograms? What in the world is a parallelogram? Parallelograms. So we have here a triangular prism. To figure out the volume of this, how much water would this shaped container hold, we just have to find the area of the base, which is this triangle here, and then multiply it times the height. Well, area of base is easy. It's triangles, base times height divided by 2. So whatever that is, 48. Divide that by 2, so 24. And then you just multiply it times the height. So the volume of this thing would be 240. Whatever's. Yeah, we'll call them inches. Then it would be cubic inches. So I'm not a big stickler for units, but area is always going to be in square units, square inches, square centimeters, square miles. Volume is always going to be in cubes, cubed whatevers. And that's because here you're only multiplying two things, length and width. Here you're multiplying 3, length, width, height. So you get inches, inches squared, and then inches cubed. And so that's really all there is to volume of the easy figures. You just figure out the area of the base, multiply it times the height. So if we have a rectangular prism, I don't know why I didn't draw it slanted. So let's see, 4, 5, 3. So we have to figure out which sides are base. Rectangular prism doesn't really matter, because you choose these sides. You do 4 length, if we're doing these two sides here, so it's 4 by 3, so you gotta do 4 times 3, and then the height's 5. If you choose those sides, you gotta do 4 by 5 and multiply it times 3. Choose these sides, 5 times 3 multiplied by 4. Rectangular prism is going to be this times that, no matter what you choose. The special case one, if you have a cube. Alright, cube, so we'll call them all 3s. Cube, it's just side cubed, because they're all the same thing. You just got to multiply it 3 times. So the complicated one for today, it does get a little bit more complicated because pointy things are problems. I told you before I can't draw cylinders, so I apologize in advance for my cylinder. Not bad. Not bad. So it's still area of the base times the height. Well, what is the base? The base is a circle. So how do you find the area of a circle? And then you just have to multiply times the height. So if you know the radius is 3, you know the height is 8. So it's just pi r squared. R is 3, so r squared is 9. So 9 pi and then times 8. So 72 pi. Unless it says to give the decimal approximation, leave pi. I don't need to multiply by 3.14. Just leave it 72 pi. Now, here's the problemy thing. Besides already having to have pi in it. And you're going to have to remember this for other shapes too. What if your circle's slanty? So here's the same 3. These sides are still, wait, what were they, 8 before? What were they, 8? But this isn't your height. Your height is from the floor to the top. So you have to know that height. This thing over here, from base to base, if it's slanted over, it's called the slant height. There are things you need to use that for. Volume is not it. So don't you, if it's slanted, don't use this as the height. You have to find the distance from the perpendicular distance from the base to the other base. So they have to give you this out here somewhere. If they don't give you that out there, there are ways you can figure it out, but it's a little bit more difficult. I'll try not to give you ones. So we have to have that thing over there. So so you got radius is 3, the slant height is 8, but the height is 7. So it'd just be 3 squared times pi times 7. So whatever 9 times 7 is, 63 pi. So yeah, that's the only tricky thing with these pointy things. Pyramids and cones are a problem too, and then the other figures, which we haven't really gone into, those are really a problem. So that's volume. Enjoy the rest of your day.